Welcome to episode 16 of live.withcode.uk. You voted for how to load data from a file in Python this week. It's a pretty challenging one, but I'll try my best to stick to 15 minutes if we can. Last week we looked at how to write data to a file. Loading data from a file is actually dead easy, but the hard bit is how to process the data we get from that file. So the program will build up together over the next 15 minutes or so. We'll read pixel data from a file. So we've got ones and zeros for an image of black and white. So ones mean that the light is switched on, as in it's white. Zeros mean that the light is switched off, as in it's black. And then we've got a file here called smile.txt. It's very similar, but it's got some extra ones in. Hopefully we can load that. So we'll load smile.txt, and you can see those extra pixels have been put in here. And then also this program will let us change the pixels. So we can choose change a pixel and we'll swap them back. So let's say 0, 0 to toggle that one. And this is a 10 by 10 grid, but we start at 0. So the bottom is going to be, the y coordinate will be 9, but the x coordinate will be 0. So 0, 9, we'll toggle that one, and this one will be 9, 0. So if we want to save this to a file, let's say, in fact, let's put a nose on there first. So change some pixels, let's say 5, 3. Help, don't want that, that's not a nose. Let's go 5, 4. Nope, don't want that either. Let's go 5, 5. That's better. And then 4, 5, and 3, 5. So that'll count as a nose. We'll save that over the top of smile.txt. So let's save the file as smile.txt and quit the program. So hopefully now this file has got that nose as in ones for white pixels. So let's get started creating that together. You can see it's quite an ambitious program. We've got a loop for the main menu. We've got some procedures for saving and changing the pixels and loading from a file. So let's get started. To begin with, I'm going to copy and paste the pixel data just to have a 2D list of pixels. So this has got eyes and a mouth for a smiley face. And then we need to display it. So we're going to use the with code module with two global variables, one called image, which we can use to draw the second one, which is called pixels, which is our 2D list. So this is where we start with. Now we want to be able to load the pixel data from a file. So I'm going to copy the file data because we're short of time today, and let's call this file smile.txt. Now, the data we have when we load the program doesn't have a nose. The data from a file at the moment doesn't have a nose either, so I'm going to put that in with some ones. Let's swap that to 0 and then down here. So this should, the zeros mean black, the ones mean white. When we load this data, there should be a nose in the middle of the face. Okay, so I said that loading from a file is dead easy, but processing the data is harder. So how do we load from a file? Let's have a look. First of all, we need to know what file we're loading from. So for now, I'm going to make it always load from smile.txt, but later we can make the user change that. So we'll say with open, so using the built-in function called open. Built-in function needs to know which file to load from. So we're going to load from smile.txt as file, and then it's indented. And after we've finished indented, that file will be automatically closed for us. So if we just say print file, we have a file object, but if we do file.read, you can see the contents of that file. So it's dead easy to read from a file. It's harder to be able to process that data. So let's see what we can do. First, we'll file.read, we'll get all of the data and we'll split it every time, help can't type today, we come across a new line constant. So every time we get a new line. And then if we just print that so you can see what that is, we've now got a list of all of the lines separately. So if we wanted to access one individually, so we should call this lines because it's got multiple lines in there. The first one is going to be lines 0. So that's going to be all of the black pixels along the top. Okay, then we want to loop through all of them. So I'm going to make some assumptions here. I'm going to say for y in range 10, which just means that we'll have a loop from 0 to 9, 1 less than 10. And a nested loop, we want to have for x in range 10 as well, so that we can display all of the values of x and all of the values of y. So we can loop through all of them. How does that help? Well, for each row, let's get the row data, or line data, I suppose you could call it. That might make more sense. For the line data is going to be, let's get the line we're interested in. So lines y, remember y will be 0 for the first one. And then we want to split that every time we have a space, because in our file, the 0s and 1s are separated by spaces. Okay, I think that's all right. And then when we loop through each column using our x coordinates, we can just set the pixels data. So this pixel global variable, we can say the y coordinate and the x coordinate to get to whichever one we want to change is equal to the line data at the x coordinate. Now we have a problem here because when we read this from a file, it's going to be treated as a string, and we want it to be an integer value so we can display it properly. So we need to convert it to an integer first. Okay, let's see if it works. We need to load it from a file before we display it, so I'm changing the order around. Good, so it's loaded from a file and it's got that nose data here. So the next thing I'm going to do is a bit of splitting it up, decomposition into different parts. So we're going to define a procedure called load, and we'll make it reusable. So we'll make it so that it can load from any file, and then all of these lines will just indent, and I'll get rid of that. This means that we can now load from whichever file we want inside our loop, and we're going to use a loop for a main menu. So we'll have a loop that loops forever. While true is going to repeat forever and ever and ever. And before it loops, we want to set up our global variable called image, which we can use to draw. And then inside the loop, every time the user types something into the main menu, we want to update the latest version of our image. So at the moment, that's going to just forever update this. Then we want to display our options. So I'm going to copy and paste this in to save some time. Our main menu is going to have 4 options: 1 for load, 2 for save, 3 for change pixels, put in the coordinates and it'll toggle them from white to black or vice versa, or to be able to quit. So we want the user to be able to choose which one of those to do. So we'll say choice equals input, help your choice, if I can spell. So the user can then say what happens, but nothing works yet. You can't actually choose any of those options because we haven't implemented it. So after we let the user type something in, we'll say if the choice is equal to, and make sure this is a string because input always returns a string, so we need these quotation marks. We're just going to break out of this loop. So for, and it quits. That's great. Next, we'll make it so that you can load from a file. So we'll try and do these in order. If choice is equal to 1, then we'll load. But if we load, we need to know which file name to load from. Load takes 1 argument and we haven't given any. So we need to ask the question, which file should I load? Let's try load a file from smile.txt, and it's worked. Fab. So that's all you voted for. You could stop there, but it would be nice if we could make it save to a file, and also the user can choose which coordinates to toggle. So we'll see if we can get that sorted. So first we'll do toggling pixels. So if choice is equal to 3, And we'll make a new procedure for this. So we'll say change pixels, which at the moment isn't defined, it'll crash, because we need to define it by making a procedure up here. So define change pixels. And then we want to ask which coordinates to change, and I'll let the user type them in with a comma like this, so the x coordinate first and the y coordinate after. So we'll say which pixel do you want to change, e.g. 1, 1. And then we need to listen to the answer after we ask the question, so we'll say coordinates equals. And then we want to split it so that we get the value to the left of the comma and the value to the right of the comma. So we'll say parts equals coordinates dot split, and we'll split it wherever we come across a comma. And we can say the x coordinate comes first, so we get the first value, and the y coordinate comes next, and we get the second value. Then all we need to do is use the global variable pixels to change all of those pixels. So let's say if pixels at yx, so we put the y coordinate first in to say which row we want to change, and then we put the x coordinate in afterwards. So if that's currently equal to 0, we'll just set it to 1. We're going to flip them over from black to white and vice versa. Otherwise, else, we'll set it to 0. Now I think this will probably crash at the moment. If we say 0, 0, it says, yeah, list indices must be integers, not strings. That's because when the user typed in the coordinates up here, that's treated as a string. So this 0, although it looks like an integer, Python treats it as a string, and we can't use strings in our list indexing. That just means we need to convert them to an integer before we can use them as numbers. Hopefully this will work now. Change pixels at 0, 0. Great, it works. And change pixels at 0, 0. It would also be nice if it kept looping round forever, so we could change lots of pixels. So I'm just going to put that in a while true loop, so it goes on forever, which means there's going to be no way of breaking out of that loop, which is going to be irritating. So 0, 0, we can't see the result of it, and there's no way of getting out unless it crashes. So let's make it update so that we can see inside the loop what pixels we've just changed. And we'll also put some exception handling in, so if it crashes, then it just breaks out of the loop. So try, all of this is stuff that we want Python to try doing. But if it can't do it, then we'll say except, thanks very much, we'll go back to the main menu. So let's see, change pixel 0, 0, that works. Let's change it back. And then if I type in something it won't be able to process, as in I'll leave it blank, it's not able to get the x and y coordinates from an empty string. It just says thanks because it crashes here, and then it will go back to the main menu. Fab. So the last thing we need to do is make it so that it can save the file. So we'll make a procedure, we'll define a procedure in here, def save, and again we need to know which file we want to save into, and it's going to be very similar. We need to open a file, as I'll call it file, but this time because we're writing we need to pass the the open mode, file mode to w, write. And we're going to need two loops, a nested loop for y in range 10 and, oops, wrong type of colon, for x in range 10. So we're assuming again that all of your images that we create are 10 by 10. You can change that if you want. And this time, instead of setting the global variable called pixels, we want to write to a file. So we'll say file.write, and we use the global variable called pixels. So we want to get to each coordinate. This is going to be looped around 100 times, 10 times for each row, and there's 10 rows, which I think will possibly work, I'm not sure, but when we run it and we save the file, nothing happens because we haven't yet put the logic in here to say if choice is equal to 2, we want to save. And we want to choose which file to save to. So we'll ask the question and we'll pass the result of that question straight to save as file name. All right, let's try. I think it's probably going to crash. Let's see. We'll save it to, I'll say test.txt. And here we go. It says must write strings, not integers. So it's kind of the opposite to the problem we had before. All of these are integers and we can only write to a file with strings. So to fix that, let's find save. Where is it? I'm going to use string formatting. So we'll have an empty string for now. And I'll just put some mustache brackets in, some curly braces in here and a space. This means I want to display a variable, and then after the variable I'm going to put a space. And then the variable I want to put in instead of the curly brace brackets is going to be this integer value here. Let's try it. So save the file to image. No, let's do test.txt and quit. So hopefully it's worked, but all of those values are all displayed on one line. That's not what we want. So when we save, this is still in our loop for x. We want to be outside of the loop for x, so remove the indentation and just do file.write and put a new line constant in. So at the end of each line, if we save to test.txt, hopefully now, yeah, great, it's worked. It's put them all on different lines. So there's a couple of challenges that you can work through here. I'll copy and paste them in because we're short of time. Try and keep the videos to about 15 minutes and I've run over already. First challenge is draw your own image and save them to a file. So you want to just be able to change them on here until you've got a different picture that you like and then save it. And then you can adapt the code so it does 16 by 16. So you'll need to put in extra zeros and ones in here and extra rows here. And remember to change these values to 16. Or possibly also a convenience function, you can make it so that you can kind of clear the image to black or clear it to white. So an extra main menu option for like 5 or something that would let you wipe the image, which would set all of these to 0 or all of them to 1. So hopefully you've realized that loading from a file is actually dead easy. It's only this line to be able to open the file, and then you do .read. The harder thing is to be able to process the data afterwards. Remember, there's links in the description and on live.withcode.uk to all of the remote learning resources that you can access related to this code. Hope it's been useful. Thanks for watching. All the very best. Bye-bye.